My partner occasionally texts their ex, and while they claim it's just friendly, I can't shake the feeling that there's more to it. What's a healthy way to approach this situation without sounding insecure? Lord have mercy.
I have a visible disability, and I'm not sure when or how to bring it up in dating. Do I mention it in my profile or wait until we meet in person?
Anyone that would judge you, you wouldn't want them anyway. My partner wants to move fast, and I need to slow down. Talking about moving in together, long-term plans, even marriage. I like them, but I need more time. How do I express this without making them feel rejected?
You need to speak your mind, and you should always feel okay about expressing yourself. I am Cassandra, and this is Tasha Taremi, and we are coming to you from the Astro Divas and astrodipity.com. I just wanted to say happy Pisces season to all of you Pisces out there. If you have any dating questions for us or anything that you want to chat about, or you want to be a guest on our podcast, please email us at astrodivas@astrodipity.com. We've got a ton of emails to go through. And then, of course, stay tuned for Tasha's love guidance at the end of our podcast. Right now, I'm going to start just by talking to you a little bit about Pisces. Just a little overview for you. The key themes for Pisces this season is self-reflection and growth. Romantic and emotional highs and lows will be happening, so you might feel more intense. Your emotions might feel more intense. Avoid idealizing partners or ignoring red flags. And don't forget, you have a need for boundaries. Your traits are you're very empathetic and compassionate, dreamy and imaginative, intuitive and psychic, gentle and adaptable, romantic and idealistic. This season is going to be full of emotions and intuition, and you're going to sense things and take that, hold on to it, go inside. Cherish this season because it's a very, very beautiful season. And on that note, we're going to start with our emails. We have a lot to go forward with. And the first one is, am I too picky or just setting standards? So, dear Astro Divas, I often hear from friends and family that I'm too picky when it comes to dating. I feel like I'm just setting healthy standards and avoiding settling for less than I deserve. How do I determine whether my expectations are realistic, or am I subconsciously pushing away potential great partners out of fear or perfectionism? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with setting standards and not settling for less than you deserve. If you are open to meeting new people, now I guess I would have to know what her standards are. So is her standard tall, dark, handsome, that drives a Ferrari? Then if that's the case, that might not be realistic. If they are, I want a loving partner that is committed and devoted and loyal, that, takes good care of themselves, that's realistic. So it would depend on, are your expectations, are they more 3D based, worldly based, or are they spiritually based? That's what I would ask.
I have nothing to add to that.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay, so let's go on to the next one. My partner still texts their ex. Should I be concerned? Lord have mercy. It says, hi, Astro Divas. My partner occasionally texts their ex, and while they claim it's just friendly, I can't shake the feeling that there's more to it. I don't want to come across as controlling, but I also don't want to be naive. What's a healthy way to approach this situation without sounding insecure or accusatory? Okay, let me just say this in the nicest way possible. If your partner is texting their ex, he is disrespecting you. And it doesn't matter if he finds what you are questioning accusatory or insecure. You need to release this person because he has already shown you that he has absolutely no respect for you. I wouldn't even give it another chance, but I've been through the ringer. So maybe you have it in you to say, this is not acceptable. This is a hard no. This is a boundary, and see what happens. I, on the other hand, would say, I'll see ya. Goodbye.
That was a really good point,
Yeah.
to give him the option, and you wouldn't. Um, no, I agree with you. You shouldn't be texting your ex when you're involved with someone else. You just shouldn't. It's
There's only
a
one
lack of
reason for that.
respect. You're
Yeah.
right. You're
It's
right.
an
There's a reason,
attachment,
because it's an attachment. That's
keeping the door open.
You're keeping the door open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an option. You're keeping
Yes.
them as an option.
Keeping the X on the shelf in case the current relationship doesn't work. You, my friend, are no one's option.
Right.
No.
And then you're not really truly giving 100% to your new
No.
relationship, right?
No.
Because you're keeping that door open. Absolutely. You're totally right. Hi, Astro Divas. I have a visible disability, and I'm not sure when or how to bring it up in dating. I don't want it to define me, but I also want to be upfront. Do I mention it in my profile, or wait until we meet in person, or let the conversation just happen naturally? I'd love your advice on handling this. Well, I think when you start dating that you need to be upfront about things. If it's something like, example, you have fibromyalgia, or you have arthritis, or you have things like that, you can wait to bring that up. You don't have to, automatically make that a priority when you first start dating. That should be natural. But if it's something that's progressive, such as Alzheimer's, and you're very aware of things like that, that's a different story. That's something that needs to come up early in the conversation, because you don't know if someone wants to get involved with something like that. This is new. You're talking about, you just started dating. Am I right? That's what I
Yeah.
think.
That's the way it appears. And I agree. I mean, she's saying it's a visible disability. So it kind of makes me feel like physically either she has a drop foot, she has an unsteady gait, or a deformity of some sort.
Right.
For
Right.
me, I would get to know them a little bit, and then I would open up more
Before.
about it.
Yeah.
But I think that anyone that would judge you, they're not really on the up and up. They don't, you wouldn't want them anyway. So,
Right. But if it is something that's going to progress,
yeah,
it's a conversation you don't wait to have too long,
right,
right? If it can be where they're paralyzed down the road or something like that, you would
right.
need to address that a little sooner than any other
No, I
disability.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. My partner wants to move fast, and I need to slow down. I've started dating someone amazing, but they're moving at lightning speed. Red flag. Sorry. Talking about moving in together, long-term plans, even marriage. I like them, but I need more time. How do I express this without making them feel rejected or discouraged? It is a red flag when you just meet someone and they're already talking about moving in, getting married. That is a red flag. That's someone that works quick to trauma bond with someone. I'm not saying that's the case, but it could be the potential. And
You're
I
right.
would lay it out on the table. I am not looking to jump into anything. If this person is legit and a true divine partner to you, they will wait. They will wait. They're not going to rush you. So you just need to be honest and lay it out on the table. For me, after 3 months, Mark did propose to me, and I said point blank, I will not marry until it has been a year and we are living together and we can see if we flow or if we're like oil and water. So any divine partner will wait because it's a beautiful soul connection. So don't be afraid to just put it out there.
And speak your mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid if it's making you uncomfortable. However, if you're
Yeah.
both feeling the same way, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to speak your mind, and you should always feel okay about expressing yourself. Never ever let someone, tell you that it's not okay to have your own perception or feelings or thoughts on a relationship. You are you. So
Yeah.
how you feel
And
is
you
very
shouldn't
important.
be pressured to say yes to something you don't feel comfortable saying yes to.
Right. Agreed. Is it ever okay to date a friend's ex? Well, we've had this
A lot.
email before. Yeah, I recently developed feelings for someone who happens to be my friend's ex. They broke up years ago and have both moved on, but I worry about how it will look. What's the best way to approach this situation without damaging my friendship? Well, this is always a tough one for me because I have this code that you don't date someone else's ex. However, I also see the other side. And I think that in some cases, if you've both moved on and your friend's ex or your friend has moved on, any of the above, I think that sometimes, as long as everybody's okay with it, it can work out. But everybody has to be okay with it. I mean, if it's 20 years ago, let's say you and your ex broke up 20 years ago, you don't even talk to your ex anymore, right? And then I come along and I meet your ex of 20 years ago. At that point, why is there a problem? There shouldn't be a problem. You don't care about them. But I think if it's your ex-husband, let's say, and that would interfere with our relationship, and there's a code there. You just don't. I don't go out with your ex-husband. That would affect you. So there's two sides to this, no?
Well, the first thing I'd say if you were trying to date my ex, would I care about you and I would do everything to save you.
You're right. But
But
think about go back 20 years. Like there is a timeline here. Do you know
yeah.
do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, she does need to have a conversation if she's concerned with the friendship. She should have a heart-to-heart conversation with her friend and say, how will this affect our relationship or you?
right.
That's the first thing. Secondly, you should not be concerned about how anything looks. It is your life to live. You don't live for the approval of other people.
You're
So
right.
get that out of your head. Don't worry about what anyone thinks about who you love or who loves you.
But I still understand the code. Even guys
Yeah,
have the same code. I still understand, that you don't want your friends going out with your ex. It seems wrong. However, what if two people are actually meant to be? Like
right.
they're totally meant to be. They get along, they never argue. What if? So there has to be a conversation and you have to be okay with
Definitely.
it. And it shouldn't be done shady or behind your
No,
back or secretively. That's the big thing. Yeah.
that will ruin the relationship, trying to keep it secret
Right.
with a friend.
Right.
Yeah. So the next one is my partner doesn't get along with my family. I love my partner, but my family doesn't. They think we're too different and have been vocal about their disapproval. How do I handle this tension without constantly feeling like I have to choose between my partner and my family? First off, part of honoring and respecting you as a partner is honoring and respecting what you love and who you love. So for someone to dishonor you by putting you in a compromised position because they don't like your family, to me, is disrespectful, not only to your family, but to your union. You know, never make decisions based on what your family thinks you should do because it's your life to live and not theirs. They're living their own life. But I would question the respect level of my partner at that point. By the way, it's coming off. What do you think?
I think you're right. And I think, why does your family have an opinion in the first place unless you're sharing issues with them? And if you're constantly sharing all the negative things that are happening in your relationship, of course your family's going to feel that way. There's no
Right.
other reason in my mind that your family would have a bad opinion unless you're sharing stuff that should be kept between you and your partner. And I think once you get to that point where you're sharing with your neighbor next door, or you're sharing with your sister or your brother in the first place, well, you're asking for problems and you're asking for people to place judgment on your relationship. essentially that's what you're asking for in the first place, or you wouldn't be talking
Yeah.
about it. You'd be keeping it private. And then my final thing is it's none of their business. And like Tasha said, if they respected your relationship, they would stay out of it, because who you love is who you love. You don't choose who you love. It's you're not like going out and saying, well, like the color red, well, I happen to like red. That just comes, and how you feel is how you feel, and nobody else's opinion matters at that point.
Right.
Nobody. Right. During an argument, my partner said something that really hurt me. They apologized, but I can't seem to let it go. How do I move past this and avoid holding resentment while still ensuring my feelings are acknowledged? I'm a tough one to ask that too. I have issues letting it go in the moment. I need time. That's a Virgo thing. However, you do need to let things go. If you want your relationship to be healthy, you need to say, can we discuss this? And have your partner acknowledge your feelings. And that's all it is. It's a simple discussion amongst two mature people. And if your partner loves you, of course they want to listen to how you feel. You have to make time for that. You're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to have your feelings. You're allowed to take a break. You're allowed to say, I need time, but you do have to express yourself. You can't just hold it in, because you're going to end up resenting your partner down the road. And you can't let it go on forever and ignore them either. That's not right. It's not right for them. So in order to avoid resentment, you need to have that discussion and learn how to open up.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It comes down to communication.
Yeah.
You know, expressing to your partner that what was said was really hurtful, and setting boundaries when there are disagreements, and you know, identifying what is respectful and what isn't, what's okay and what isn't, what's crossing the line.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
So the next one is dating a single parent. How do I fit in? I've started dating someone with kids and I really like them, but I'm unsure of my place in their life. I don't want to overstep, but I also don't want to feel like an outsider. How can I navigate this dynamic with respect and patience? You know, when you are dating someone that has children, you have to be willing to compromise and have the awareness that he's raising little lives, and that is going to take precedence over anything else. So if you like this person and you want to get to know them, you're going to have to go in with the understanding that it's going to require compromise. And it's going to be worth it, because the kids aren't going to be little kids forever. So you
True.
have to decide that.
Point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Nothing else to add to that. Hi, Astro Divas. My partner loves holding hands, kissing, and showing affection in public, but I'm naturally reserved. They think I'm ashamed of them, but that's not the case. How do I explain that's just not my comfort zone without making them feel unwanted? Well, it sounds like you're two different signs. I've been in this kind of scenario in my past. I don't like to show affection publicly. It's so dependent on who, by the way.
Right.
Virgos, earth signs are typically like that. Water signs are quite the opposite, but it depends on all your placements. But you need to be vulnerable and explain that it just makes you uncomfortable. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you guys are aligned, he'll understand. And if you're not aligned, well, then it's time to be with someone else and move on, because you just have to come to an understanding, because relationships are about respecting one another's view and how you feel. And I think it's as simple as that. I really do.
Yeah, I think communication,
Is
and actually showing him just how much you appreciate him when you do feel comfortable. That's important. And maybe compromising, holding hands. A little compromise
and I think
wouldn't
it's
kill you.
beautiful. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's beautiful too. If he wants to show that and he's willing to show that, that is That's devotion, right? He
Right.
he wants to let everybody know he loves you. You shouldn't, by all means, you should not say, I don't want you to ever do that again. I hate it. Because if
Right.
at that point you're not aligned at all, there has to be compromise, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one is I love them, but their friends are a problem.
Mm.
My partner has a close group of friends who constantly stir drama and influence them in ways I don't like. I don't think are healthy. I don't want to control who they spend time with, but I also feel like their friends bring unnecessary negativity into our relationship. How should I handle this? You're with somebody that's immature, that is not
Yep.
ready to
Yep.
make a relationship a priority. This is someone that sounds like they're stuck in a I'm the follower energy, and you want a leader. You don't want a follower. So,
Masculine.
you're going to have to make that tough decision. You know,
Yeah.
I couldn't. I would, no, I couldn't. I'd be gone.
Yeah. Friends over relationship? No,
Yeah.
not at
And
all.
they stir drama and conflict and they're bad influence.
Yeah.
And her significant other is going along with it. That's a follower. No,
Yep.
no.
Hi, Astro Divas. My partner's love language is physical touch, while mine is words of affirmation. They constantly want hugs and closeness, but I feel most loved when they communicate with me. How can we bridge this gap without either of us feeling neglected? Well, you have to have a conversation, and love languages are important. I
Yeah.
will swear by that. And you can come to a compromise. But without having a bit of everything, which I think is important, um, the end result is if you don't communicate about this and share how what your needs are, and you don't try and fulfill each other's needs, it's not going to work. It's just not. I mean, it's a give and take situation. So you just need to have a conversation. You
No, I
really do.
agree. Yeah. And you know what would be kind of a roundabout way to open the conversation is get an astrology book on your sign and that has all the signs. And
Yeah.
you could read it in front and say, look, oh my gosh, this is so me. I don't like hugging and kissing in public because this makes sense to me. This is why I'm the way I am. And look, this is your sign. You like the warm and fuzzies. So how can we compromise and meet in the middle? Make it
Such a little
non-threatening, kind
thing.
of just an educational experience in
Yep,
astrology.
I agree. I agree.
So my partner wants me to delete my dating app, but I'm not ready. When we've been dating for a couple of months and my partner asked me to delete my dating app, I really like them, but I'm not sure I'm ready to go all in yet. And it's been a couple months. How do I explain this without making them feel like I'm keeping my options open unfairly? You are keeping your
Yeah,
options open. You are being
it
unfair. You
it's
wasted
disrespectful.
3 months of this person's time and you don't want to delete the dating app. You are not ready, my friend. You're not ready. And
Yeah,
be
just
set
wrong.
this person free because you're not committed, you
Yep,
know? That's the first thing that should have come to your mind. I like this person. I like their energy. I feel connected. I'm going to delete that app. And
yep.
if for the simple fact that you are still entertaining it and holding on to it like a lifeline, no, no, you're not ready.
There's
And I say
nothing
that
to
with
say.
love.
Yes, it was perfect. Hi, Astro Divas. My partner and I live in different cities, and we've been doing long distance for a while. It's getting harder, and I'm starting to question whether we can keep this up. What are the signs that a long distance relationship is worth fighting for versus when it's time to let go? Well, I think you're already feeling the signs because you're worried. If it's not going anywhere, if it's not going anywhere, you've got to let go. The odds of it going somewhere serious are it shouldn't take this long. If you're constantly doing long distance, you're essentially just being there on the other end of the phone or a video, let's say. That's not real. That's fantasy. It's not real. A real relationship is is definitely when two people are trying to build together and trying to come together. The idea isn't to just be friends in different cities, and just be friends.
Right.
Don't be in a relationship, because you're just closing yourself off from a real relationship. That's what I think. That's it.
I mean, the one word I think of to know if it's worth waiting for is effort. Is there effort being made? Are you both making effort at all costs to connect with each other? And if you're
So what
not,
is effort? What is effort? Effort making
traveling,
the phone call
traveling to see each
to
other,
see one another? Yeah,
taking turns, going to
right.
that location, back to that location. That's what, you know, you there is nothing that would keep a divine union together, not space, not time, nothing.
Right.
So, but it sounds like in this situation they've already
It's not moving.
grown apart and she's
Yep.
feeling it,
Yep.
energetically feeling it. So yeah, the next one. My partner doesn't compliment me ever. It says, I love my partner, but they never compliment me, not on how I look, my achievements, or even small things I do for them. I feel unappreciated, but I don't want to beg for validation. How do I bring this up without sounding insecure? You know what? The first thing I felt is this is an insecure person. An insecure, it feels like a masculine energy that does not want to compliment you because they already don't feel worthy of you. I don't like this because this is a roundabout way to chip away at your own self confidence. That is what it feels like he's doing. Yes, he could be a different sign. Yes, but it's still, even it doesn't matter what sign you are, when you're in a loving connection, you can't tell me there's not at one point every sign that will give you look beautiful, you look great, or what a great job, any of that. I mean, that's inhuman. So
I I need water. Sorry. I need water. I find
that
it
just
so
dried her up on that one.
uh, you know what? I see it differently.
I knew you would. That's why I said that. I don't
I
care what the sign they are.
Yeah, this totally gets my blood boiling. And there's a reason for it. I think he's lost interest. I really do.
Well,
I don't think he, that warm fuzzy feeling that you have, and
it's like
that
he don't care.
he doesn't care. He's good with it staying the way it is. He's
No effort.
content. No effort. He's fine watching movies or television or something. This is the picture I have in my head. And if she gets dressed up or anything like that, he doesn't see her as, wow, you're everything to me. You're amazing, or you did a good job on that. He's lost interest. He's just there.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. I do need water. Just a sec. Um, Hi, Astro Divas. We've been together for years and I want to get married, but my partner keeps saying that they're not ready. I'm tired of waiting, but I don't want to pressure them into something they don't want. Is an ultimatum ever the right move, or should I be more patient? Oh my God. But by the way, years and you want to get married and he doesn't just, it's sad to say goodbye. It's hard to let go, but let go. Just let go,
Yeah.
because your
Or
wants is his
accept.
wants, or accept and settle. And that's settling,
Yeah.
which is terrible. But you already have the answer. The answer's right there.
Right.
What are you going to wait 2 more years? 3?
Now,
4?
you'll be waiting for all of eternity.
Yeah.
This is not someone that wants to be married. Obviously, if it's taken years, they feel comfortable with the way things are. So either you're comfortable with settling, like Cassandra said, or you're just going to cut that cord and set them free.
Cut that cord.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. The next one. My partner and I have different political views. Oh, Lord,
We've
don't
done
talk
this.
about politics. My partner and I don't see eye to eye on politics. In today's world, that's a big deal. We avoid the topic, but sometimes it sneaks into our conversations and creates tension. I'm sure it does. Can a relationship truly work when two people have vastly different political beliefs? Yes, because
Of course.
love is the highest vibration.
Yeah.
You know what? I wish people would stop saying negative things regardless. If you have a problem with politicians, do what you can do about it. Pray about it. That's my answer. Pray about it. Bashing is only lowering the vibration of yourself and everyone around you. But I wouldn't talk about politics. And yes, if you continue to go down that road, it's going to continue to get worse. You're going to resent each other.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And just don't talk about it. I mean, you're allowed to have different views, different that should have nothing to do with your relationship. If you want a debate, then you can have that conversation as well. But it shouldn't have anything to do with your
Yeah.
relationship, because who you like as a president or a prime minister should have nothing to do with the way you feel about one another. It just should. Like, I mean, it's a moot point. It
I
really
mean,
is.
it's almost as if you are bringing in politicians into your marriage. Like they're a part of your marriage.
Right.
This is what it feels like. So let it go. They're not married. You're not married to that person. You're not dating that person. Who cares?
And
Just
can you imagine, though, breaking up with someone because they like a different president or prime minister? Like, would you, if that's your priority, and you better think like I do, uh,
no,
well,
no.
you better put that out on social media. I like this president and I like this prime minister. And if you
Yeah.
don't like them, you can't be with me. My gosh, come on, seriously. Um, I feel like I'm more into them than they are into me. Hi, girls. I feel like I'm always the one texting first, planning dates, putting in the effort while my partner seems more passive. How do I tell them that I'm naturally more affectionate, or are they actually not that into me? Well, like Tasha was talking about different signs before, it could be that you're just different signs and you have different ways of showing affection and showing emotions. And but at the same time, if your gut is telling you that something's off and the person's not that into you, and they're not texting you in the morning or texting you to check up on you, or calling you, forget texting, actually picking up the phone and calling you, then there probably is something wrong, and they're probably
Yeah.
not that into you, and you're definitely not a priority. You're just not.
Yeah. And your gut never lies. Your gut will never lie. If you have that feeling like you're carrying the weight of the relationship, this person could care less either way. They're not making any effort. That would be a one sided relationship, and you deserve better.
Right.
You deserve better.
Right.
Yeah. The next one is I want kids and they don't. I've always dreamed of having children, but my partner has made it clear they don't want kids ever. We love each other, but I don't want to give up my dream, and they shouldn't have to change theirs. Is there a compromise? Or are we on borrowed time? You know, if he's made it clear to you that he never, ever wants children, but you do, then I would say the answer is you have to find someone that's aligned with your values, your dreams, and your desires. Unfortunately, you fell in love with someone that doesn't have the same dreams that you do.
Yeah.
So how can you compromise wanting kids or not wanting kids? There's no compromise there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not you can't have half a kid. You can't say, well, have it for a few years and then we're going to give it back. I mean, there's no compromise there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no.
there's a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of people out there who want a family, and you really, really, really should be walking away. It's not something you should compromise on. Having children
No.
um, brings love into your life and is a beautiful experience. Don't ever give that up for someone who doesn't want that. Don't. Just don't give that up.
Right.
Um, I'm sorry, I just got lost here. My partner is too close with their coworker. Hi, girls. My partner has a coworker that constantly texts, joke, and even grab drinks after work. They insist it's completely platonic, but I can't shake my discomfort. I don't want to seem jealous or controlling, but how do I address my concerns without pushing them away? Well, to me, if they're that close with their coworker, which I understand in today's world that, a lot of people, they have their friends and they get along with coworkers really, really well. But if you're constantly texting them and things like that and going out, maybe your partner is actually better off with the coworker, because there's something that flows naturally between them.
Yeah.
And you obviously, you're being left out of this.
Yeah. There's an emotional attachment
There's an
there.
emotional attachment.
You know, it's crossing the line. Yes, sometimes you would have to communicate after hours when you have shared business projects, but going and getting drinks and hanging out with the
There's
opposite
more.
sex, there's more there. Yeah, there is an emotional attachment there. There's no other way around it.
Yeah,
They're laying the groundwork for infidelity, whether it's happened yet or not.
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
mm-mm. The next one is my relationship feels more like a friendship. Lately, I feel like my relationship has lost its romantic spark and we're more like roommates or best friends. We still care about each other deeply, but the passion isn't there. How do we reignite the romance without forcing it or making it feel unnatural? You know what? It kind of feels like you really weren't meant to be romantic partners. You were meant to be soul friendship. It, you know, I don't understand the reigniting. How do you lose it? So I just feel like you had this strong connection because you maybe have known each other before in a past life. You have this strong connection, but maybe you were just meant to be friends. You
Right.
know?
Also, people have to realize that in the first 4 months of a relationship, it's all the chemicals and hormones that are being affected. That dies and wears off. A lot of people, have all that romantic. It's so new, the in love stage. They call it. That's at the beginning. After that, love is a choice. You choose to remain in that relationship, and you start building that foundation and things like that. Hopefully you remain attracted to your partner and you feel all those warm, fuzzy feelings, but not all relationships are based on any of those things. There are some that aren't. And so it really depends. You have to understand that the first 4 months are just, the relationship truly comes after that initial spark and that initial feeling. And if you are feeling, I think you sound lonely right now. You're feeling lonely. That's what I'm getting from this. For you to write this, if it feels just like your friends, you need to have a conversation and say, why don't we start, having date nights or do something different, and try and get that feeling that obviously you're just not feeling. And maybe Tasha's right. Maybe the reality is that you are just meant to be friends in the first place. And
Yeah.
maybe that romantic feeling is gone. Or can you, get something more out of this and continue having this relationship down the road? It's a conversation you need to have.
I just started hearing that you lost that love and feeling.
You would
I
have
heard it
something
singing.
like that happen. Huh.
All right. Is it you or is it me?
I'm not sure, sweetie. I could
Uh,
just, you go.
I love my partner, but recently I found myself attracted to someone else. I haven't acted on it, but I feel guilty for it, even having these thoughts. Does this mean something is missing in my relationship? Or is this just normal human nature? How do I navigate these feelings without sabotaging what I have? I don't feel like that's normal when you're in a loving relationship. I feel like you're not interested. I feel like you lost that love and feeling. I feel
There is
like
an
you're not
answer.
into it.
There is an answer, though, because it can happen, right? People, you can be with Mark, example, and be at a soccer game, and somebody gets your attention because they're just new, and it can
I
happen.
don't.
But there is an answer. Cut it off. Like, just avoid seeing them, because you're saying that your relationship is very good and you don't want to ruin it. So if you feel that you have an attraction all of a sudden because someone came out of thin air and it's just an attraction, no, you haven't acted or anything like that on it, stay away from them. Like, don't put yourself in a place where something can happen and you can destroy something that you've built with someone else. Don't add to that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
To
I
me,
don't
that's
feel, maybe it's my age. I don't feel attracted. I don't feel tempted in any way by
but you know why?
anyone.
Yeah, but typically if you're always together and you're always home, it's easy to have that. It's when, let's say, example, you were to go out to a party by yourself.
I would never do that.
I would never do that either. But there could be someone who you start chatting with and talking to, and you go, oh my God, they're really attractive. And then you see them next week, maybe at work again, and wow, they're really nice. And you start questioning your own stuff, your
That
own
would be a
relationship.
temptation. That's a temptation.
Correct.
And
And
it's
even
also known as a test. It tests your
correct.
commitment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So the answer is stop. Just
Yeah.
stop. Don't.
Yeah. Don't put yourself in that position
Yep.
to be tempted.
Yep.
My partner wants to keep us a secret. We've been dating a few months, but my partner refuses to post about us on social media or introduce me to their friends. They say they just like to keep their life private, but I can't help but wonder if they're hiding me. How can I tell the difference between privacy and secrecy? Your gut is already telling you
Yep. And he
that
doesn't.
you're secret. You're the secret. I don't like it. I don't feel good about it. Yeah, no.
Why wouldn't someone want to? You don't have to post on social media, by the way. That might not be your character. It's not mine. But why wouldn't you want people to know? Like, I guess some of the signs are if you're with them and their friends show up or their friends call and they answer the phone and they say, hey, I'm just doing so and so, but they don't mention you. That would be a sign that you're a secret. If you're not being mentioned, I'm doing this or I'm out with so and so. If you're never being mentioned, you are a secret. They don't want people to know.
Or if they're not trying to go out with you in public, if they're
That's
meeting you after hours when it's dark,
yep.
you have to text code words to get them to call you back. You know what
Yeah,
I
well,
mean?
that's really gone far. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, you're the next 23, I think.
Hi, Astro Divas. I earn significantly more than my partner. And while I don't mind paying for things, I can tell it makes him uncomfortable. They make little comments about how I wear the pants, and I feel like it's creating unspoken tension. How can we maintain a healthy power balance in our relationship despite the income gap? I just want to say it is making them uncomfortable and they are insecure. And I don't think that will change. I really, really don't. If, first of all, it's rude to say you wear the pants. If you're doing it in a joking manner, that's one thing. But clearly they resent you for it. And that doesn't sound like a healthy relationship at that point.
No.
I don't think you should even be involved with that person. Let them go feel the way they do. It shouldn't be talked about. Money is money. It's not something that should always be thrown in your face, whether you make more, make less, any of that. Just
Yeah.
shouldn't be, I'm sorry,
And
but
his insecurity is on him. You can't fix that.
you can't
It's
do that.
it's not like you're rubbing it in his face. And if you were married, then it would be joint. It would be two people sharing resources. And
You
so,
should be grateful.
yeah, that's going to
You
be
should
an
be
issue.
grateful. Like, no.
He's got his own insecurities. Unless he can heal from that, it's going to be an issue.
And if it's such an issue, go do something about it. Like, just
Yeah.
go, don't rub it in your face.
Make
And
more money if it
yeah,
bothers you that much.
exactly. A lot of
Yeah.
men would be happy, or a lot of women, depending on the sex here, would be
Yeah.
happy to have somebody else, in the.
So the next one gets under my skin. The title is My Partner Constantly Compares Me to Their Ex. My partner brings up their ex way too often, comparing our habits, our relationships, even how we argue. I feel like I'm constantly being measured against someone from the past. How do I set boundaries without making it seem like I'm insecure or trying to erase their history? I mean, there's this person still needs to heal from what happened with their ex. And, I would be very clear. The relationship is between you and I, not you, I, and the ex. And the more you bring up your ex, the more you compare me to your ex, the more it is evident to me that you are not over your ex. I'm
Yeah,
not here to have a relationship with you and a ghost. So either you heal from this issue, make peace with it, or you need to go about your way.
you're right.
That's,
You're right.
yeah.
A lot of people, I think most of us are guilty of this, though. But you are right, 100%. You're right. It's just sometimes we do it not to be mean or anything like that. But in this case, yes, it's bad.
Yeah.
Um, but you're absolutely right. The ghost part, what you said, I'm in a relationship with you and not a ghost.
Yeah.
That's a really good statement.
Mm.
That's the reality. If we only all like had that on the wall, like
Yeah.
it's true though. Why do we? Some people, I'm not talking this situation. Some people talk about their ex or bring up their ex. Why? Because they're trying to learn from it and they're noticing the comparisons or they're overthinkers. But you're right. If you're bringing up your ex, you're either not over them or you're not over them.
Yeah. I
It's
mean, it's different if it's warranted. Like say the ex
right,
is interfering, the ex is
right,
trying to trigger, trying to do things that are causing problems within your current relationship. Obviously, you and your new partner are going to say, "Look, we can recognize what's going on here."
right.
That's different than
That's
you
that's a
constantly
problem.
bringing up, "Oh, my ex did it this way, you don't do it that way." Well, go
Yeah,
right on back over there to the ex and let her do it for you. That's
exactly.
what I would
Yep,
say,
yep.
you know?
No, you're totally right. That's very, very good. Yeah. Dear Astro Divas, I have big dreams and career goals, but whenever I talk about them, my partner either dismisses them or doesn't seem to take them seriously. I feel like I'm cheering them on with their life, but they don't do the same for me. How do I address this? Well, that's just sad. It's totally sad because if they're not supporting you or validating you and cheering you on, why on earth would you want anything to do with them in the first place?
Yeah.
I know because as I get older, I realize even in friendships, it doesn't even family, if they're not cheering you on, my God, and you're the type of person who cheers on everybody else and supports everybody else, you've got to you've got to change who you're surrounding yourself with. You've got to change up. It's not healthy. It's not good for you.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you need validation,
No.
but there's nothing wrong with wanting it because I will tell you, being validated or having someone cheer you on and support you, having that little extra dose of push really helps motivate someone. And I think it's really healthy if you're surrounded by people who are like that. So I would walk away from this kind of person.
Well, the most important thing to remember in any relationship, whether it's romantic, family, work, everything has to be equal and balanced.
Right.
If you are constantly building someone else up and they are not doing the same for you, eventually your cup will be empty. You will
Empty.
be completely drained and it's going to fall apart. It's just, you're going to be an empty shell. So I would set that standard for any relationship. What you give has to be given to you, whether it's
And you
support,
should give
love, energy, time. Yeah.
support, love, respect,
Yeah.
all
In
of those
equal
things
parts. In
in equal
equal
parts.
parts.
And if you're not getting one of them, it's not a case of tit for tat and, well, you're not giving me this, so I'm not going to give you this. Just you don't need that. What
No.
you do need is support and
Yeah.
validation and respect and kindness, and it's important for everybody. So
Yeah.
it's just I
Negative
agree.
energy is a drainer.
Yeah,
Negative energy is a barrier. And so anything that's going to lower your vibration is something that you need to evaluate. It's not worth having in your life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I found out my partner lied about something small. Should I be worried? I recently caught my partner in a small lie, nothing major, but enough to make me wonder what else they might not be truthful about. Should I let this go? Or is it a sign of something bigger? How do I bring it up without making a huge deal out of it? I would be concerned. I would be concerned because if somebody lies about something small, you're right, then they're capable of lying about absolutely anything. So if you lose trust, even if it's a small lie, that's going to be hard for you to trust anything that comes out of that person's mouth. So, I mean, I would be definitely on my toes and be alert. But I mean, how do you say to someone, look, I think you're a big fat liar now? How do you say that?
I know.
You
I
know?
know. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be on
I
alert.
agree. I agree with you. I love my partner, but they constantly need reassurance about our relationship, their looks, their career, everything. I try to be supportive, but it's becoming exhausting. How do I set healthy boundaries while still being a loving partner? Well, their need for reassurance about the relationship, their looks, their career, everything, I think they definitely need. I, they need to work on themselves. They have a lot
Yeah.
of healing to do. They are definitely insecure. They have a lot of growing up to do, and that isn't your problem. That's their
Right.
problem. Yes, you care about them, you love them, and you want to help them, and you want to be there for them. But if it's impacting the way you feel, and you feel exhausted, you've got to speak up and tell them, look, this is affecting me, it's affecting us. Let's get you some help then, because I can't do it. I'm not the one who should be able to do it. And if you still love your partner and you care, obviously you do, help them get the support. Don't walk out on them or anything like that. There's clearly something going on. Could be their past, it could be trauma, it could be who knows, but they are going through something. And if you can support them, all the better. And if you can't, then either way, walk away gently and say, this just isn't for me. But people, just everybody, I just want you all to know we're all flawed. We're all imperfect. All of us have something, but she should get
Yeah.
some help. Talk to someone,
Yeah.
work on herself. She needs that, or he needs that,
Yeah.
whichever sex. Yeah.
Well, the problem I have with, I agree with everything you said, is say it's a she. I'm not sure if it's a she or a he.
Right.
By her constantly validating him, building him up, and not getting in return, she is the energy source. He's plugging into her because he feels broken and insecure. He has wounding that he needs to address. Over time, she is going to be completely depleted. There is going to be nothing left to give, and that does lead to resentment. 100%, he needs to go to counseling. He needs to heal the past wounds that has made him so insecure that he needs constant validation. It will end up destroying herself. She'll sacrifice herself for this relationship and
Could
lose
be.
her identity.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, encourage him to get help. If
Yeah.
he refuses to get help, then that's saying I give up on the relationship. I'm not willing to change.
Right.
Yeah. No.
But just to be sympathetic and empathetic to everybody out there. We all do go through moments of insecurity. None of us are perfect, but like Tasha said, once your attempts have been made to get them to get help, you do have to make a choice for yourself and save
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dear Astro Divas, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to get water soon. I'm not interested in a traditional relationship with marriage and kids, but my partner envisions that kind of future. We both love each other, but our long-term expectations don't match. Is there a way to compromise, or is this a deal breaker? Well, I mean, I hope you guys went into this relationship talking about this, because it's a conversation you should usually have pretty early on in a relationship, I would think. Like, you kind of ask these questions, they're natural questions, but clearly you've been in a relationship for a while and you just don't want marriage and you don't want kids, then set your partner free. I mean, You set
Yeah.
your partner free. It's not fair to the other person. It's just not fair. It's not fair. However, people can change their mind over time. I mean, if he loves you that much and you are his everything, or she is your everything, whichever sex you are, um, what I wouldn't do for love, I'm just one of those. I would, is it going to change anything if I marry the person or we have children? Children, maybe yes. You don't want kids. You don't want kids. That's it. That's all. Marriage, a lot of people will marry the other person just because it's what they want. I think if this is your forever person, you should compromise, just because that would make them happy. However, if you're adamant about it, you just don't want certain things, then you have to set them free. Just set them free. It's not
Right.
right.
I agree with everything you said. I agree. Um, I can't stop overthinking my relationship. I tend to overanalyze every little thing in my relationship. If my partner takes longer than usual to reply, if they sound different one day, or they don't say I love you exactly like they did yesterday, I know I'm driving myself crazy, but I can't stop. How do I break free from this cycle of overthinking and just enjoy my relationship without constant worry? This is
Virgo.
a wound. No, but this is a wound. This is the effects of wounding, your
Yeah.
insecurity and your inner fears because you've been hurt in the past. So I would really put your focus on healing the inner child, healing from the wounds, the trauma you've experienced. And I would also really look at some YouTube videos on building your self esteem, your self confidence, your self worth, and know that you are enough. You've always been enough. Whatever you experienced in the past, it wasn't because you were deserving of it.
Right.
And so build your confidence and your self worth, and that's going to help.
Self-love.
Yeah, it's going to help.
Yep. Um, this next one, there's just one more email to me. And in a world where people often mistake surface level attraction or compatibility for deep connection, I'd love to know, what do you believe truly defines a deep and meaningful relationship? What are the signs that a relationship has real emotional depth versus one that's just built on chemistry or convenience? Well, I've said this before in other conversation that I think a real relationship, I think one of the signs, you can't have a relationship without getting attached. There's different levels of attachment. Some are secure, some are healthy, some are not. But typically, when you become really involved with someone, you do feel attached. You think of them, they're the one you want to share with, not anybody else. They're the ones you want to build with. They're the ones you hope will call. They're the ones you want to be with. You enjoy spending time, even if you're disagreeing on things. It will be them that you have these feelings with. Um, and we all have disagreements and we all have things, but if you both respect one another and you both are looking at each other like, I appreciate you, I am grateful for you, you're feeling a sense of gratitude, you're feeling this missing, this longing to be with that person, I think those are signs of a relationship. Chemistry is attraction. Yes. Chemistry is, oh my God, we get along so well. That can change 5 months from now, 6 months from now. You have to both share the same values, but also the same dreams. If you're sharing the same dreams, you're on a good road. If you're both talking about emotions or talking about things that happened in the past, and this affected me, and talking to one another about your deeper self, that's a really good sign too, because you don't share with just anyone. So I think there's many ways, there's lots that I can say about this, and Tasha, you too, I'm sure. I
Well, if they add value to your life, if they support you, if they elevate you, if they challenge you to be the best version of you, then
Right.
it's more than chemistry.
Yeah.
It's just somebody that really values your company, your energy, and they want to see you succeed just as you want to see them succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you should aim to be that kind of person in the first place. On that
Yes.
note, Tasha is going to do her love guidance. So,
Yeah. First, I'll do tarot and see what comes out.
okay.
Spirit, only angels, saints, spirit guides, and ancestors. What does the Astrodipity viewers need to know about love? What's coming in love? What do they need to know about love? What do they need to know about love? Truth and only truth. Well, I see somebody taking passionate action, wanting to come in and make an investment, but it looks like this is a past person you've walked away from. You know, you have invested in healing, raising your vibration, being in your full power, and I feel like somebody does want to swing the block, but this is somebody, this is someone that has caused a lot of drama for you. And I feel like you've already made the decision to walk away from this past energy. Yeah, you've put death to it. It's over. This person caused you a lot of heartbreak, and I do feel like they want to swing back around, but you're looking for a solid commitment, a long-term commitment, someone that believes in tradition, marriage, someone, like I said, that is going to build you up, that is going to really be invested in you. You're coming out looking pretty amazing. And I feel like this is what's inspiring someone from the past to swing the block. You're very grounded, you're stable, your finances could be looking better, and someone's feeling abandoned. But I feel like it's money motivated for a lot of you. But not to worry, you're staying very private away from whoever this is. I think you're focused on your work, your collaborations, and you've done a lot of healing work. And I don't feel like this is someone that is healed. So let's look what's coming new in love. What's coming new in love. And you know what? You're going to get past people, especially when you have evolved and grown and your energy speaks for itself. You're going to get past people wanting, what did I say? You guys, I can't make it up. I told you it was money motivated. We got deception, we got flirt, and then we got finance and career. This person's not doing so well. You have walked away from someone. The Queen of Pentacles just flew on the floor. Your money's looking better, and this person thinks you're looking mighty fine because they're codependent on your energy. No, absolutely not. I want to know what's coming. Yeah, free yourself. Free yourself. Let your friends help you. Pay attention to the red flags. I do see you calling in a soulmate. You're going to feel safe to express your love with this new person. With honeymoon, you could meet this person around the holidays. The past was an experience for you to forgive and learn, releasing your ex. Because you're going to be getting to know someone new. This is going to lead to a brand new beginning. You could be going on a retreat with this person. You could be traveling with this person. It is safe for you to love this person. That's exciting. Thank you, Jesus, for a better turn of this reading, because we didn't want to talk about the past, but there it is.
Aw. Well, thank you, Tasha, for that.
You're welcome. Sorry that the past came up. We can't help it. You guys are doing a great job. You're looking mighty fine. Of course, past people are going to be sniffing around your energy.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we hope everybody enjoyed that, and we look forward to chatting with you next week. Don't forget, if you want to be a guest or you want to ask for dating advice, please reach out to Astrodivas at astrodipity.com. And don't forget to check out astrodipity.com, the dating app, and download the app. It's available on Google and Apple, and there's lots of new features now and more to come really soon. And we hope you enjoy it and you get to know your chart, punch in your date of birth, your time of birth, your place of birth. And we look forward to seeing you next week. So have a great week. Enjoy the sunshine that's finally coming out, and we will see you soon. Bye for now from Cass.
Bye-bye.